जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय वो विष्णुपाद ब्रह्मस विराज का आचार्य स्तोत्र जत श्री श्री हिजवंगी सबै चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की वृंददेवी तुलसी महारानी की वृंदराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की दाय गौर प्रनंदे Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naranjaya Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Nestiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 31. The movement of the living entities, text number 11. Text number 10. Arabhya saptamanamasaat labdha bodho vivepitaha naikatraste sutivate Vishtabhuriva Sodaraha Arabhya Saptaman Masa Labdha Bodho Pivepitaha Anekatraste Sutivate Vishtabhuriva Sodaraha. Vivepitaha Outward meaning. Arabhya, beginning. Saptamatma Sad, from the 7th month. Labdha Bodha, endowed with consciousness. Api, although. Vipitaha, tossed. Na, not. Ekatra, in one place. Aste, he reminds. Suti Vataihi, by the winds of the childbirth. Vishtabhuhu, the womb. Iva, like. Saudaraha, born of the same womb. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Thus endowed with the development of consciousness from the 7th month after his conception, the child is tossed downward by the airs that press the embryo during the weeks preceding delivery. Like the worms born of the same filthy abdominal cavity, he cannot remain in one place. Please repeat the translation. Thus endowed with the development of consciousness from the 7th month after his conception, the child is tossed downward by the airs that press the embryo during the weeks preceding delivery. Like the worms born of the same fill the abdominal cavity, he cannot remain in one place. Purport. At the end of the 7th month, the child is moved by the bodily air and does not remain in the same place. For the entire uterine system becomes slackened before delivery. The worms have been described here as Sodara. Sodara means born of the same mother. Since the child is born from the womb of the mother, and the worms are also born of fermentation within the womb of the same mother. Under the circumstances, the child and the worms are actually brothers. We are very anxious to establish universal brotherhood among human beings. But we should take into consideration that even the worms are our brothers. What to speak of other living entities. Therefore, we should be concerned about all living entities. This is the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bodhale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachat Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Lord Kapila is explaining about the life to Mother Devhuti. So here some of the realities are presented. Reality of the life. We all know that from Shastra that Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. But Shastra presented this as a Dukkha Doshana Darshanam. These are from these instances we can see that, we can perceive that actually they are producing dukkha. But we know in our natural experiences that disease, jara, the old age, and mrityu are troublesome. We have to face difficulties, we have to suffer. But how the janma is miserable. How the birth, which is eye-opener. The descriptions are actually we never heard of such kind of things. Nobody told us that the modern science, they explains about a lot of embryology. They explains about how the child growth is happening. But even those explanations are totally corroborated in the descriptions in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But what they don't explain is they can only figure out the movements of the baby within the womb. But they don't know the very consciousness, how the child is feeling, what a child's consciousness at that point, that they cannot capture. They are not able to capture. The consciousness is a symptom of Atma, soul. Unless you realize the soul, how will you be able to know? According to them, the consciousness is all about awareness. And awareness, a child will be able to aware only when he comes out and exposed to the world. But the reality is, even before coming out of this world, before even getting exposed to the world, coming out of the womb of the mother, he is able to experience that miserable condition within the womb of the body. He is able to experience that. When we read scriptures, we are able to figure out that Shukadeva Goswami, within the womb, he is able to experience all the difficulties. And also because he has acquired knowledge, he is very much realized within the womb itself. And he knows that what is going to be outside. Within the womb itself, within the womb is such a small kuva, but outside is a big kuva. Oh, more difficulties, more maya, better remain in the womb. This entanglement is so tough. So you don't want to come out only. His father assures, no, don't worry, I will ensure that you will not get entangled. But he says, no, I don't believe you. Because fatherly affection itself is entanglement. If Lord assures I will come out, then we all know that how Vyasadeva has to go to Dwaraka and invite Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna personally assures Shishu, that's how he comes out. So, the consciousness of the child is disclosed here, what is happening. Of course, the whole embryology is explained, what happens from the day of conception, the very detailed explained, first night, fifth night, and 10th night, it became a mamsa, it forms like a plum, gradually develop into the lump of flesh. Then in 1 month, head is formed. In first month, head is formed. In second month, hands, feet, and other limbs, slowly it is taking shape. By the end of the 3 months, nails, fingers, toes, body hairs, bones, skins appears, and other bodily parts, that all the karmendriyas, genitals, eyes, nostrils, ears, mouth, anus, all these things are formed. Just within the 4 months, all the 7 essential ingredients of the body, chyle, blood, flesh, fat, bone, marrow, and semen, everything came into existence. And at the end of the 5 months, hunger, thirst have come, so sensation. At the end of the 6 months, we begin to move to the right direction of the abdomen. If the child is boy, to the right direction, right side of the abdomen. If child is a girl, the baby is girl, and that baby moves towards left side. And we also heard that how nourishment is happening. Nourishment is happening through the mother's garbhanala, umbilical cord, and nourishment is happening. Along with the nourishment, lot of suffering is experiencing. Because whatever mother consumes based on her taste, based on her wish, all that is not really favorable to the child. So that's how the Shastra says that a pregnant woman should be very cautious what to eat, what not to eat. Especially anything which is pungent or chilly or hot should not be taken. She should be extremely careful what kind of foods to take during those pregnancy time. And not only that, the child is suffering due to the food what is supplied from mother, but also because the body is growing and consciousness is improving, he is able to perceive that he was pushed into a garte, is pushed into in a hollow sack, a dark room. He is able to perceive all that. He is struggling, suffocation. He is not able to comfortable, he is not feeling comfortable. And not only that, the worms within the womb are started biting. So much of pain child goes through. All that pain he is able to experience at this point of time because consciousness is developed. Consciousness is developed. Now we are seeing here in today's text that how in the 7th month consciousness further Saptavam Masan Labdha Bodhaha. Labdha प्राप्त किया. क्या प्राप्त किया? बोधहा, consciousness, intelligence. That developed consciousness, that's endowed with the developed consciousness from the 7th month after the conception. The child is tossed downward by the airs and press. See, initially we saw that, hardly any space within that womb of the mother, and body is growing, and how that is just like in a bow, the head towards the abdomen, just like bow, it is curved like this. Now within that position also is not able to be there for a long time. That happened in the after 6 months. Now within a month, in 7th month, when 7th month enters, he is not able to comfortable. He is not very uncomfortable, very painful. So he is trying to move around within the body. He is moving around. That's how from 7th month, mother is able to feel that how child is kicking. And mother, father, everybody takes pleasure that see child is moving, but actually that is not pleasure for the child. Pleasure is the child is suffering very badly. Somehow or other he wants to come out. Sahan nahi kar pa raha hai. It's very detailed, these descriptions are there. This whole chapter describes about how child is feeling within the womb's mother. Bhagavatam explains everything about our life. Everything about our, nothing is left over in Srimad Bhagavatam. If you want to know anything about our life, from beginning, from the conception, the moment we entered the womb of the mother, and till the end where we leave this body and move again, enter into one more body. Tada dehantara prapti. Every detail is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. How to be in family, how to do our business or activities in this world, how to relate with others, how to perform bhakti. There's nothing left over in Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything in detail. Very detailed. And why this birth is happening? What is the purpose of explaining all these details? See how painful this birth is, and what is the reason for that birth? What is the reason for birth? Because we all have forgotten Krishna. Anybody forgot Krishna, he has to take birth in this world. Or how we take birth, that is explained. That is also explained in the previous, some of the texts, that how, I think some previous chapter, Srila Prabhupada very detailedly writes in the Bhagavatam, in the purport, that how, that when soul comes here in this world, the birth is in the 4 kinds. One is Andaja, second Svedaja, Bhrunaja and Vidvija. Born from Anda, eggs, born from Sveda, it is explained here also that Vrishtabhur. The worms also born within the womb through fermentation. Svedaja, fermentation. And another kind of birth is through embryo. The humans and animals take birth through embryo. And next comes, what is the fourth one? Bija. Bija. Budvija, the one which sprouts. The plants. So, there are 84 lakh species are there. And all 84 lakh species are divided into these four kinds of births. And in the embryo, in the human form of body or the animal body, the 9 months the baby is within the womb. And the body is growing in the 9 months, not that it's there just in the seed form. Seed is entered. The Atma entered in the form of seed, Sukrakana, to the sperm. And because the Atma entered the womb and to the ovum, and the body started growing. So Atma's presence is the cause for the body the growing. Because the presence of the soul. And the development of the consciousness slowly happening. But by 7th month, that development of the consciousness is come to a stage where no more sahan nahi kar pa raha hai. He is not able to जी नहीं पा रहा, जिल नहीं पा रहा. He is not able to take up that kind of pain. Shortage of space to live. He can't even extend his legs. Not only that, the worms are biting. All that suffering is actually due to sinful activities. All that suffering due to sin. Karmana daivanetena jantur devo pupatyate. Because we have performed activities which are against dharma. Which are dharma aviruddha. Because we are all doing viruddha. Against. Anything we do as for the law, as for the religious principles, then Krishna promises. That is the purpose of giving dharma. Otherwise, what happened? Wherever you go, Brahma Bhonar Loka, Punaravartin Arjuna. Wherever you go up to Brahma Loka, again. Once your punya khatam ho gaya, wapas aana padega. So that's why Krishna says, Mam upetita kaunteya punajjanma navidyate. The one who attains me, he will not have one more birth. So the very reason for us to enter the womb of a mother or to go through the process of Janma is all due to sinful activities we performed millions of lives. But Krishna is inviting all of us to Vaikuntha. For that one has to do bhakti. And that bhakti is possible only in the human form of life. Only human form of life. And how one can adopt bhakti, first of all. One of the gateway to take up bhakti is the महसूस करना है. तकलीफ को महसूस करना है. One should be able to, if you're a madman cannot go to hospital. लेकिन नंगा घूमता रहता है madman, आप देखा होगा सड़क पे. Madman is just walking naked. All flies are moving on him. Insects are biting. So unless he is aware that he is suffering, the consciousness matters. So that's how you see in the 7th month, when the consciousness developed, he's able to perceive the kind of difficulty what is going through. See, Prabhupada gives very beautiful analogies in these chapters. Now we are in 10th sloka, but the previous slokas how Prabhupada explained that. A fortunate soul, by going through all these difficulties within the home, a fortunate soul, he will be able to remember 100 lives of sinful activities, not one life, 2 lives. 100 lives he is able to remember. क्या क्या करके आके बैठा हूं मैं इधर, Krishna. So he is able to remember Krishna. 100 lives he is able to remember. So that remembrance is actually supposed to facilitate somebody to become devotee of the Lord. Somebody is supposed to facilitate. But unfortunately, after coming out of the womb of the mother, you forget. So in that context, Prabhupada gives another analogy that how mother who goes through such a painful labor pain, horrible pain, she thinks that I will not again become pregnant, but after few months, few days, she forgets that. Or a diseased person, when they get admitted into hospital, oh, so much of suffering, remember why he became sick like that. He remembers that I ate that, I behaved like that, I will be extremely cautious. But after coming out of the hospital, few days he will be normal, then again he'll forget. So likewise, the child in the womb is also praying to the Lord, oh, I don't want to suffer anymore. Oh Lord, I want to become a devotee. Please take me out from here. Very fortunate soul prays to the Lord. But again, after coming here, he'll forget. He'll forget. So that's how Srila Prabhupada says, after taking birth, in the purport Prabhupada writes, after birth, the child may forget about the difficulties of his past lives. Even though he remembered all that 100 lives, past lives he remembered, but after birth he may forget about the difficulties of his past lives. But when we are grown up, we can at least understand the grievous tortures undergone at birth and death by reading authorized scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam. We may forget after coming out, but we may forget. That indicates few people may not forget also. May means there is a possibility some may not also, isn't it? So there are some souls who don't forget. Bhagavatam gives list of such kind of devotees also. Parikshit Maharaj, who had the darshan of the Lord within the womb, when he came out, mother, father, everybody is smiling, but he is not attracted by them. Of course, father was not there. His grandfathers were there. He is not attracted by them. He is very eager to see that personality whom he had darshan in the womb. He is pariksha se dekh raha hai. He was examining everybody. Where is that beautiful rupa, the beautiful form, the Lord whom I had darshan within the womb of my mother. He has not forgotten darshan. So he is examining everybody. Just see, he did not forget. Prahlad Maharaj, even within the womb of the mother, how many years he was there? 36,000 years. Because Mother Kayadu is not willing to give birth. Because she's scared. If child comes out and these demigods may come and kill. So she was saying that till my husband come back from her tapasya, from his tapasya, till the husband come back, she is waiting. So many years he is within the womb. But when he come out, he is not forgot. Because he was made of Srimad Bhagavatam. His consciousness filled with Bhagavatam. That is Narada Muni's Kripa. And Shukadev Goswami, just now we were discussing, Shukadev Goswami, another personality. He stays 16 years within the womb of the mother. He's not willing to come out. Only after assurance by the Lord that where we will not get entangled, he comes out. Even after coming out, father wanted to do Jata Karma, the samskara. But no. He's not interested in any, even to say that ritualistic samskaras in this world. Just, you don't want to get entangled anymore. Just trying to walk out. So, within the womb, we are able to remember. But when we come out, our situation is we are forgetting. Of course, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that apohanam cha matta asmritir jnanam apohanam cha. It comes from me only. Because if you remember all that, your life will become miserable. See, if you remember all that sinful activities, all that relations, what and all you did, oh, very tough to live in this world. But we know that when Narada Muni is explaining about the future life, in the past lives he is explaining, because he is attained pure consciousness. So anybody, this is what actually even Prabhupada said, when you go back to Godhead, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that once you go back to Godhead, what is that line? Yadgatvara nivartante taddama paramamama. But somebody asked that everybody came from there only, no? So what is the guarantee? Again, you will not come down. Isn't it? Everybody came from the spiritual world only. If you go back to Godhead, so what is the guarantee? Again, you will not come back. Prabhupada said, you will remember what happened. The experiences you will remember. You already experienced the material world. Very miserable. You will remember. So once you attain pure consciousness, you'll be able to remember. You'll know about the material world. So you never come back again to this world. So, mother contributes to the child's not only nourishment by her food, but also to the consciousness. Nourishment happens through food, consciousness happens through association. Mother Kayadu was fortunate to be in the association of Narada Muni. See the kind of consciousness bestowed upon Shishu, Prahlad, within the womb. So it's very important. Abhimanyu is another example. When he was within the womb, Mother Subhadra, Krishna was narrating whole Chakra Vyuha. And Subhadra was hearing, went to sleep. So because everything has to fed to child through mother. Even hearing, because child cannot hear separately, no? Everything has to, whole the food, here, even air, everything, swasa, everything has to through mother only. So Abhimanyu heard how to enter Chakravyuha, but the second portion when he is explaining how to come out, Mother Subhadra slept off. So it's very important to be alert in the Srimad Bhagavatam class. You hear only difficulties, by the time solution comes, you sleep off. See, Abhimanyu, such a heroic person, just 16, 17-year-old boy, where how many Maharadis? 6 Maharadis circled him, not 1 or 2. He is able to, fight with all of them. He is able to even almost defeating with them. But he doesn't know how to come out of. He is able to stand in front of them. But you don't know how to come. How long you will stand? How long you can stand? So these are the difficulties. Consciousness matters. And the consciousness has to be supplied. By mother. That's how all these samskaras. That's how all this culture. Because child has come there. Child has come to the womb. Because karmana daiva netrena. There are, Shastra says there are 10 kinds, 10 sakshis are there. Whatever we performed, whatever activities we performed, their divine eyes are watching. What are those divine eyes? Air is watching. Directions are watching. Dik. Devatas are watching. Demigods are watching. Sun, moon, and lot different Shaktis, potencies are watching. So we don't have any independence in taking birth. Oh, I want that kind of parents. I want to take birth in a Vaishnava family. No. You don't have a choice. But Prabhupada says, mother and father can prepare a ground to invite a Vaishnava child. Vaishnava child means what? Yoga Brashta. Mother and father has the capacity to prepare the ground to invite such kind of punyatma to the womb. But child, jahan le jata hai, udhar jana padega. Based on the karma. Based on the karmana daiva netrena. But wherever we go, wherever the Atma goes, after birth, what to do, that freedom is given. Where to go, freedom is not given. But after birth, freedom is given. That's what Prabhupada writes in the previous purport, that when we grow up, we can at least understand the grievous tortures undergone at birth and death by reading authorized scriptures. So we should utilize this great opportunity what is provided, especially in the form of human body. So bhakti has to be performed. In that bhakti, neha vikramanasosti pratyayona vidyate swalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bayat. In this endeavor, in this effort of performing bhakti, there is no loss or diminution. Trayato mahato bayat. We will be able to cross the greatest danger. Even when Arjuna asked Krishna, what happens the person who is not able to complete his yoga brashta? So Krishna says that he will take birth in a family. Suchina Srimatam Gehe. He takes birth in a family of purity. Suchi Srimatam. So he takes birth in a Punyatma's family. Consciousness matters. Like Jada Bharata. 3 births are explained, no? Jada Bharata. Second birth is deer, Hiran. Third birth is Jada Bharata. In all, he is able to remember the Lord. In the first birth, actually his devotee almost reached Baba stage. But unfortunately got attached to the deer. But even the deer, even the Pashu, animal, but still consciousness very bright. He knows why he has taken, why he has to come to that deer's body, he is able to remember. Further, after some time, he has to take next birth, a Jada Bharata, Jada, like very, what do I say, Moddu, you say in Telugu. Achal kind of. So, but still he's very conscious. He's aware. And that's how he is Jada. That's how you don't want to associate with anybody in this world. He's aloof. Whatever is happening is aloof, everything. So why is that kind of situation comes? Why people are suffering in this world? So the Bhagavatam explains very nicely that Nunam Pramattaha Kurute Vikarma, because people are mad after sense gratification. Nunam Pramattaha Kurute Vikarma. They perform so many sinful activities because they are mad of sense gratification. Yad Indriya Pritihi Apnoti. They are just willing, they are only focused on gratifying their senses. So any person who is saintly, or any person who is intelligent enough, he should actually restrain from these actions or activities of sense gratification. And how to restrain from the sense gratification? By knowing the grievous tortures undergoing within the womb as well as within this life. Within this life. Everything is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, this what the question was asked to Shaunakadi Rishis asked 6 questions to Suta Goswami. One of the important questions is, after Krishna left this body, left this world, where Dharma has taken shelter? Dharmaha kim kam sharanam gataha. Where Dharma has taken shelter after Krishna left this planet? So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, even though we don't remember all that suffering, what happened within the womb, what all that pain we have gone through. And but reality is this. This is the reality. It is a science which cannot be perceived by modern science. It is a truth, reality. Now another important factor Srila Prabhupada writes in this purport by referring to the word Sodaraha, Sa Udaraha. Sodaraha, the born of the same womb. The worms have been described here as Sodara. Sodara means born of the same mother. Since the child is born from the womb of the mother, and the worms are also born, the fermentation within the womb of the mother, same mother, under the circumstances, the child and the worms are actually brothers. You see, because of the process is different. One is born from mixing of semen and ovum, and other is born from fermentation, but both are born from the same womb. That's what defining Sodara. Actually, this understanding, the brotherhood, Prabhupada says in this purport, we are very anxious to establish universal brotherhood among human beings. But we should take into consideration that even worms are our brothers. The problem where today the why hatred is there because we are segregating, this is mine, this is not mine. This is mine, this is not mine. Aham mameti. Mameti, it belongs to me, it doesn't belong to me. So anything belongs to me is affectionate, anything doesn't belong to me, opposite affection is hatred. Because this world is full of dualities. That's why Krishna Dvandva Moha Vinirmukta. One has to give up this duality. But how can we give up? Okay, now we have to give up the hate. You can say that you can give up the hatred, but how can you give up affection? Even affection also you have to give up, because affection is actually in the false, based on the false narrative. What is the false narrative? Is mine. And what is the false narrative in being saying mine or mameti? Because it is at the bodily platform. It is in the bodily platform. Then what should be? That means in order to give, you only be supposed to give up the hatred, because in spiritual world there is no hate. Everything is love, everything affection there. But here we are saying both we should give up. Dvandva Vinurmukta. How we should give up both? How it is possible? Because bodily concept life we have to give up. If you give up the bodily concept, then what it is? We are not these bodies. We are Atmas. And all Atmas in the form of human form or in the form of worm, all Atmas belongs to Krishna. And Krishna says, Aham Bija Pradapitaha. Unless you understand the common father, like Sodara it said, because both are born from same womb. That's how brothers. Sodara. So if you know there is a common father, then brotherhood is possible. Otherwise, how that is impossible. And Prabhupada is saying is, here, we are very anxious to establish universal brotherhood. But we should consider, we should know that even worms are our brothers. What to speak of other living entities. Therefore, we should be concerned about all living entities. How to be concerned? First of all, how that is possible even to treat other living entities brotherhood. How that is possible? Actually, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed this very practically, how that is possible. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going in Jharkhand forest, we all know that past time, that how tiger and deer coming together and dancing together. And tiger and deer, by nature, tiger is enemy to the deer. But both are coming very friendly. Bhaichara bolte hain, kya bolte hain? Bhaichara. Both are coming together and dancing together. Even Prabhupada showed that in practicality in the human society. Prabhupada showed that. See, 1970s, 60s and 70s, a lot of big Cold War is going on between America and Russia. One is socialism, another is, what are they called? Capitalist. Capitalist and socialist. Totally opposite poles. If a Russian who is not enemy of American is not Russian. If an American who is not enemy of American is not American. Just like India, Pakistan. You know? If somebody says, no, I went to Pakistan, people are good, everything is good, then say, भाई पाकिस्तान चले जाओ तुम. You are, आप इंडिया में रहने के लायक नहीं, बोलता है ना इधर. Because if you praise Pakistan, that means you are Pakistani. That is the kind of enmity towards two countries. That is the kind of enmity towards Americans and Russians. But you see, Prabhupada made such a kind of environment where Americans and Russians come together and dance Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. American devotees and Russian devotees come together. They dance together. They participate in Vrindavan festival. They sit across, they eat together, they live together, they dance together. Even boys, girls marry, Americans, Russians marry in Krishna consciousness. So Krishna consciousness is the only platform where Dvandva Moha Vinirmukta. If you wanted to come out of the illusion, if you want to come out of the duality, the only platform is Krishna consciousness. A real Bhaichara, real brotherhood is possible only, one is adopt Krishna consciousness, because by accepting Krishna consciousness, you are raising above the bodily concept of life. Raising above bodily concept of life and situated in Atma's platform. So even among the devotees in ashram life, if the two devotees are fighting, two devotees have difference of opinion, the two devotees doesn't speak each other. That means what? They don't talk each other. That means what? They are neophytes. So much so neophytes. They have not come to the standard understanding of Krishna consciousness. But still they are called devotees, even though they are neophytes, still they are called devotees because they are putting effort or endeavor to become devotees. They are putting endeavor. So what is that endeavor? How to put endeavor? That has to be learned. That endeavor is possible only by adhering to the instructions of Guru. Yashasti Sandhyam. 3 times we should glorify. If you glorify 3 times, at least in different intervals, if you remember Guru, if you associate with, then whatever activity we are performing, we'll be able to remember. We'll be able to do as for the Guru's instruction. This is what exactly Krishna said. What is that he said? Mam anusmariddacha. You perform your duty, but you are performing your duty. While performing your duty, you remember me. That's what is expected in Krishna consciousness. So our sadhana, our reading, our association with the devotees, all these things has to facilitate us. We should be very anxious. We are very anxious to establish universal brotherhood among the human beings. सबसे पहले क्या करना चाहिए? We should be very anxious to establish good rapport among the devotees first. Then ये level तक जा सकता है. Stop here, any question or comments? Question or comments? You can give comments. we should be pessimistic about material issues, but we should be optimistic about spiritual, because devotees sometimes they lose enthusiasm even in spiritual life because they don't see that something growth is happening in them. They see that nothing much is happening. So that's how Acharya says that you should be very optimistic, because आपको महसूस नहीं हो पा रहा है, but ultimately the seed is growing within, the bhakti lata is growing within. You know, when you the bamboo, it actually doesn't see that much growing faster, because it's growing downwards. Roots are becoming stronger. Once it is stabilized inside, then goes so tall. Because when it grows so tall, see the roadside, these trees are now, what the tree called? The roadside, what we planted. In little wind comes, it will fall off. Tree grows very big. Quickly it grows. Any tree which grows very quickly is fall when heavy wind blows. But bamboo, you see, such a tall it grows, but it don't fall. It bends, but it doesn't fall. Why? Because roots are very strong. So Acharya says, be optimistic, because Bhagavatam scripture says that when you are performing bhakti, your kalmashas, all the kalmashas going away, you are getting washed off your sinful activities. But हम चिंतित होता है, फिर भी मैं क्यों नहीं हो पा रहा, because इतना गंदगी भर के आया है. 100 जन्म के बारे में याद है, इसका मतलब है only 100 जन्म याद आता है. Only 100 lives you will be able to remember, but unlimited lives. So when you are performing bhakti is happening. What is happening? Bhakti is cleaning. Vidinoti surudam satam, it said. Vidinoti surudam satam. Surudam. Dil ke andar vidinoti, cleaning is happening. Lot of cleaning is happening. One should not get perturbed. So devotees should be optimistic. Even though he is not able to see immediate result, he should be optimistic. The karmis are very optimistic about material prayasa, material endeavors. They are very optimistic. So, but whereas devotees are very optimistic in spiritual process.